show. Number 89, hustle all the time. Travis on the right, hot mic on the left. Every single week is a lyrical fit.
It's my song, Tanner. Santana Moss Show. Travis Thomas, Santana Moss, the Santana Moss Show podcast, episode 7. Seven, baby. 7. Best 7 you ever played with. I feel like John Elway was a great 7.
I have a lot of 7s.
Is there any 7s? Trying to it's all that's a quarterback number,
yeah,
right?
It's a quarterback.
Elway's the best one I can think of.
Elway, he was a good one.
Elway was best 7. I feel like every podcast now, each episode number, we should name a great player from that jersey. Like next week, 8 will be Steve Young, greatest 8 ever,
no doubt.
Cal Ripken's a good one too, but football only.
And then both of us like San Fran, growing up. So.
No doubt. I stuck with him though, Tanner.
You stuck with him.
I stuck with him.
Yeah. I balled that.
They were done to you? Yeah, once you got drafted, it was over?
Once you get drafted, regardless of who you like, everything goes out the door.
So if you got drafted by the Niners, you'd be like, oh, this is my childhood team. That was cool.
I'd have been in heaven. You're talking about 7 heaven.
Were they good? I'm trying to think. Were the Niners good when you – no.
It was all right.
They were okay, right?
It was okay. I think Jerry was still playing, but he was no longer a 49er. He was with Oakland then.
Oakland. Bro,
he was balling.
He was balling, but do you remember Jerry Rice's hair late in his dog?
Stop it. Stop it. You can't do the goat like that. You can't do him like that.
His brain started.
Don't do him like that. Don't do it. Not on this show.
Jerry Rice, we love you on this show.
Don't do like that on this show.
And I'm the last person to talk about hair. You know what I'm saying? So what you been doing since last week, bro?
Busy as always.
Of course you are.
I actually went and did a Zingo class on, I believe, Thursday. Good friend of mine invited me out to a class. And
what the hell is Zingo? Like yoga?
Cycling class.
Oh, Lord.
She sees me on the Peloton, and she like, I want you to come do my class. And then, you remember when I first got with NBC, which at the time it was CSN?
Yeah.
Amanda had me come to the Zingo in Bethesda.
I went to one of those.
And then a friend of mine, she's, local in the area, but we have mutual friends from Miami. Her family is basically from Miami, and she works on she works on NBC also. She invited me out. She's like, come out to my sister's class, and
nice.
She worked me. I mean, I remember going in and like, man, I ride this bike all the time.
Right.
And I walked out and like, yeah, you're the real deal.
No kidding.
But I want to go back. And then besides that, Saturday I went to a Frederick's, I forgot the name, Keys minor league baseball team.
Oh, yeah.
So it was Gary Clark, my guy. Gary's a guy I looked up to growing up playing a position.
Member of the posse.
And ever since I've been a Redskin, he's been one of those former Redskins that always reached out to me. Even when I was playing, and now that I'm not playing, he was a guy that told me I'll be a fool to leave this area.
Wow.
Yeah. He told me, he said, Tanner, there's too much going on here that you have, it's yours to have if you want it. And I remember him telling me that, when I was playing. But he invited me out to do this appearance with him through his company. And I thought it was just an appearance. And then they suckered us into throwing the first pitch. So I guess out there, I'm like, come on. And, the first thing goes through my head is like, hey, don't try to go out here and 50 Cent it.
That's what you told me when I
gave a straight overhand and put a little something on it, and that's what I did. It was about 6 of us. It was a couple of kids that got a chance to go first, but of course they saved me for last. And I'm like, Gary, I want to say, Gary, this is your event that you got me to. You should be last, but I guess they wanted me last, and I did a good job.
It didn't end up on YouTube.
I got it over the plate. That's all I want to do. Get it over the plate.
So the only thing on YouTube is this show. There is no first pitch of you.
I mean, the first pitch may be on there, but it's not no blunkers. It's not no bloopers. Bloop, 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 bloop.
I threw out the first pitch last summer for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, and I called Santana and asked for advice. I said, I know you've thrown out first pitches before. And that was his advice. He said, Travis, don't go out there and try and throw as hard as you can.
No, sirree.
Keep it fundamentally sound.
Yeah.
I did not listen to Santana. I actually went out there and...
Oh, I know you was hard-headed.
I
you
slang
probably
it.
wind up
I
and
slang it.
Put the knee up in the high in the
no
chest.
doubt. I gripped it and ripped it. But...
Did you get it over the plate?
It went over the plate, and it was a little high left, but it was a ball. It was right outside of the strike zone.
Okay.
but I had some oomph onto it. So you know me, the last time we've seen each other, same thing as always. Watching these Caps, do or die now, man. Got to get it done.
Let's do it, die.
And I've been watching NBA playoffs too. We were talking a little bit off camera. You know, I mean, it's Golden State for sure. I said it would be Golden State and Cleveland again. I still believe that. But boy, Boston is coming to play,
tough, man.
man.
You know, I'm a firm believer, and I've always, you know, I believe in believing. I believe in speaking what you want to happen. Yes, I want to see LeBron, and I can't watch basketball unless he's playing. You know, he's like I said, he's the Jordan. He's the
of this era.
He's the Jordan of this era. When Jordan was playing, everyone went in the house, and you can be out on the basketball. You know, back then, that's when we really went outside and played.
No doubt.
As kids.
Yep.
And I remember coming in the house sweaty, dirty, and my mom like, get off my damn couch, boy. But he's the Jordan of this area, and so when he's on the tube, you know, I'm glued, and it's almost like you're so invested in their wins and losses,
right.
Man. It takes a lot out you, but he still gives you something to watch, and that's why you want to see that series. You want to see those guys make it. You want to see it at least if they can make this series to a game 7. I would be satisfied if it goes 7 games. If they can't just win it outright,
at least make it
something for us to sit there and say, man, he did it. Because you understand when you watch the game, he's basically out there. He's the commander,
right,
in chief. He's the guy that's running the show, regardless of what they want to say about, you know, him and Jordan. That's out the door, man. Leave that back there. Right now, he's the most dominant guy in this game, and it's amazing to watch him carry people every year, even when he didn't have the cast he have now. When he was in Miami, he still was the man amongst those men.
No question.
You know, amongst greats.
That was
like
Wade's
Wade.
team, yeah.
You know, that was Wade's team, and Wade took a back seat. You know, so yeah, I don't understand why so much, you know, animosity to this guy. But at the end of the day, when you're great, people try to bring you down with saying what ifs or what you don't do, you know?
I'm going to tell y'all how much Santana loves LeBron James. So I just had my first feature story done on me. Nuts and Bolts Sports did a story on me. Go check it out, nutsandboltsports.com. It's also on all my social medias. So they did a story on me. It's rare that people ask me questions. I'm usually the guy asking the questions. So they interviewed me. The story was awesome. I sent it to Tana, and I was like, hey, check this out, man. Repost it, read it, blah, blah, blah. And then he wrote back, no problem. And then I wrote him back immediately. I was like, matter of fact, wait till halftime, because I already know. I already know you watching the Kang, and I know I'm on the back burner, and he's got love for me, and I'm on the back burner. So I appreciate you reading that at halftime. I'm hoping you did that.
You see how late it came, too. And I was like, yeah, I'm watching this game, and I'm invested, but I got you, buddy.
I already knew. So with that being said, let's move on to Santana's State of the Skins. All right, Tana, Josh Norman, Dancing with the Stars, has a chance to win this thing. The finale is tonight. We'll see what happens. By the time this podcast is out, maybe he's already won it. But I want to go in a different direction of whether or not he wins or loses, because I know I'm not watching the show, and I imagine you're
I'm not watching.
Okay. So let me ask you this. You know, I saw an interview with him recently where the person asking the question said, I think he was on Live with Kelly and Ryan Seacrest. And they asked him, hey, what's your schedule like? Because, you know, OTAs are back. You're doing this grueling Dancing with the Star schedule. How are you able to kind of fit everything in? And he went into this long story of just a typical day. It was crazy. Flying here, flying there. Got to be here by this time. Couple hours sleep. Now, obviously, he's not missing any team activities, so that's not an issue. But I guess my question to you is, do you feel like something like this is a distraction? And I kind of remember you telling me a long time ago that when you played, you said no to a lot of stuff.
Everything.
I mean, if he goes out and he plays poor, or he gets hurt in the preseason, or God forbid the regular season or something like that, is this something people can look back on? Is this something fans will use against him, or do you think it's much to do about nothing?
Much to do about nothing. I feel that the one thing that he's doing is giving us. He's in a tour day right now. This is his schedule now, dealing with the practices for Dancing with the Stars, and making sure he's back here practicing with the team, and or if he even practices with them all the time. It's like going through a tour day, like a training camp schedule. So his body should be in tip-top shape when it comes time for him to really get into that two-a-day, activity. I truly believe that around this time of the year, you should be able to do whatever you want to do. Whether it's, go on vacation with your family for a couple of weeks and say, hey, screw this stuff that we got going on.
Kind of get away
with the team.
from it.
Yeah, because it's best for you. Some guys need it, some guys don't. He's a defensive back. Most of the time he's out there by himself. Yeah. It's easy to play when you got help. You know what I'm saying? So as long as he's getting the work in when it's time, it's nothing to talk about. Now, would it be brought up if something happened like that?
Right.
Yes, true. You know that. They look for anything to say, hey, well, maybe if he wasn't doing this.
It's like the boat trip with Beckham.
Right. So that's one of the reasons why I stayed away from things, because I didn't want to give no one nothing to say, well, you was doing that, and that's what caused this. And I didn't want to even let that leak into my head myself, because it's easy to, if you get off schedule and you do things that you didn't normally do, and then when something happened, now that's the first thing you're going to go back to. I know me, myself, personally. This is something I think would be great for the team and Norman, because you're giving yourself that exposure, which he had so much of it already. But then now, if he wins or if he gets to the final two or whatever, now they have something more to talk about throughout the season. Hey, he was on Dance with the Stars. Hey, he did this. They're going to probably be showing clips when he make plays.
Right.
All that stuff is great exposure.
It helps his brand.
It helps his brand. But at the end of the day, a player wants to make sure that he can secure what he's really doing, and that's going out there and being a good football player. So I'm hoping that he takes, advantage of what he's doing now, live it up, soak it up, let it all soak in and have fun with it. But at the same time, when it's behind the scenes, when people are not watching and saying you should be on the clock, he's punching it in and making sure you're getting that work in.
What about the locker room? Like, are guys got to give him a hard time, right?
They probably now guys would give you a hard time if you up there stinking in bed. If you up there,
so if he win it, they're gonna leave him alone.
Not even if he win it. If you up there looking stank, I don't care how you win, because sometimes those guys are giving. Some of those things be rigged up. If you looking stank, meaning your outfit or one of your moves, your hips ain't look right when you supposed to do something, they gonna let them have it. Especially if you got a smoot in that locker room, that's one of the guys. So I'm pretty sure a couple of smoots in there. Dunbar, I know for sure. Just talking with Dunny and playing cards with him, he's a jokester. He's gonna let you have it. So let that boy not go out there and look right. Somebody gonna bring it up to him. But it's one of those things you have to live with. You have to understand. Like, look, I come out here and do something, put something on tape. We always say as football players, don't put nothing bad on tape. Because if you put something bad on tape, then it's going to be seen. Everybody going to see it. So, therefore, you don't want to put nothing bad on tape. He's watched every time he performed. That's worldwide.
Yeah.
So, that locker room going to know about it. And so, he better not put nothing bad on tape, because they going to talk.
So if his outfits are on point, his dance moves are on point, let's say he wins the whole shebang-a-bang, no one will say anything.
Nah, just from looking at some of the commercial teasers, the outfits, okay. Him wearing that Elvis Presley throwback with the shirt open, that's already up for grabs. They gonna let him have it on that already alone. Now, what he can put that to rest by is going out there and performing well.
Right.
So if he go out there,
that's what I'm saying. If he win it,
he go out there and win it and skin it, then you can say they have less to talk about.
Yeah.
But man, I just saw the teaser and I'm like, oh boy.
I'm pretty sure he getting a nice check.
He's giving them ammo. Yeah, of course.
No, he getting a check.
Of course. Because honestly, you're not going to get me out of what I know if it ain't about that bag. You
ain't going to wear no Elvis outfit with no baby oil on.
No. Oh no. Oh no, sirree.
Oh no.
What you talking about, Travis?
Hey, that's Santana Mall. I'll put on the Elvis outfit with baby oil right now if the money right.
For that dollar.
With that being said, time now for story time with Santana. Listen up. He's got a story to tell. All right, Tana, I bring this up a lot during these podcasts, and even when we're talking offline, I'm just so fascinated with the U. I mean, I grew up watching y'all do your thing. Just take me to Miami, man, literally and figuratively. We'll work on the literal part some other time. But take me back to what it was like. I want to know what it's like when all you guys get together. Like you, Portis, Edge, McGahee, Shockey, Vilma, Ray, Ed Reed. Like when all y'all get together, whether it's back then or now, I just want to know what it's like when the U comes together, whether it's down there or somewhere else.
Well, first of all, when you ask me about story time and talking about the U, the first thing stood out to me is talking about what makes us who we are. We can't enjoy each other's space off the field, now that we done playing as, collegiates and in the NFL. We can't enjoy those times if we didn't go out there and perform well. One of the things that came to my mind immediately when you said, hey, give me some feedback on the U this week, to me, the standard that was set alone made you come in there with a different mindset. You got to understand something. Like, I grew up in Miami. I watched guys after guys go out there and make big plays on Saturdays, and they are legends through the neighborhoods, through the grocery stores, beyond what these guys did on the next level in the NFL, they're legends alone in Miami because of what they did on the big stage. It was a big stage every time you stepped into the Orange Bowl. So to even have a chance to be a Hurricane was big. It was meaningful. It was something more than just saying that, hey, I'm going to put on this U on my helmet.
Right.
And that mean I've arrived. No. The standard was set to the point to where when you walk the halls in our facility and you saw the Michael Irvins, the Kevin Williams, the Lamar Thomas, I'm just naming guys that played my position, the Magic Bentons, you name it. When you watched and saw these guys' pictures on the wall, and then you get there and you got Magic Benton still there, you got Jamie German still there, you can't just say I'm a part of something. You want to be really a part of it. So I think the tradition alone, it was passed down through guys like the Al Blaze. Al Blaze had two brothers that played there, Benny and Brian. Yep. And he was a fan of them and always went to those games and then was in those locker rooms before we got there. Then now he's in those locker rooms again, and he's teaching us what it's about, teaching us how we have to look at these things, how we have to go about our business. I remember coming in my freshman year, and we were 5-6 that year. But most of the freshman class played. And the true sophomores that came in the year before, the 2Gs, we called them the 2000 class. They was the 2Gs. We was the Deuce 1 clique, and they was the 2Gs. That whole 5-6 season was made of the sophomores and the freshmen playing. So immediately we knew as freshmen, like, hey, we got a chance here to rewrite history. We got a chance to start something that we once watched. The dominance that was set before us, these guys that still trinkle in here and give us speeches and talk to us about what it takes to be a Hurricane, we got a chance to be those guys. So what you gonna do about it? And it was started just like that, from guys, young guys. The Adrian James, he was in 2000 class. The Al Blaze, 2000 class. Nate Webster, 2000 class. Damian Lewis, 2000 class. Then you got me, Reggie Wayne, Dan Morgan, Ed Reed, all us Deuce 1 class.
Where was Buchanan? I remember
Buchanan was 2 years after he came in with Portis.
Okay.
But those guys, Portis, Buchanan, and Andre Johnson came in 2 years after us.
Okay.
So what I'm talking to you about now is about how we rewrote everything.
Right.
We was on probation when I came in.
Right.
All the stuff that stemmed from the Luke Skywalker era.
Yeah.
Had us in probation where we didn't have scholarships, where we didn't have all this. That's why so many walk-ons played that year. So many true freshmen and true sophomores played that year, because we didn't have nothing. And so for us to say that, hey, you know what? We the class. We're going to set the standard. We're not going to set the standard. We're going to hold up the standard that was set before us. The tradition that was set and the standard that these guys played at, we have to lift that back up. We have to put that back in these locker rooms. We have to put that back in each and every player, regardless of who he is, how he got in these doors. So if you came in mediocre, you was gonna leave okay.
Yeah, you're gonna.
If you came in a dog, you was gonna leave a man-eating dog.
Woo!
So it was just levels. So like if you came in okay already, you was gonna leave great, because the guys around you understood what was put through the field that we played on, practice on in Green Tree, and through those classrooms and those hallways. And we didn't allow, one of the things I talk about so much to my kids and to people, I got a kick out of watching Michael Irvin come in there and talk to me. It wasn't that I got a kick out of just seeing Michael Irvin. No, because I know what he's done, and I know what he's doing now, because he's on the next level. And he gets to come and tell me what it takes to be great, what it takes to go out there and be a Hurricane. I never forget this day when we beat Florida State for the first time my senior year. When I caught the pass on the last drive to win the game, caught the first pass and made the first down, Mike Irvin grabbed me out. Nah, get a break. Get a break. Get a breather right now, because what you're going to need to do is go out here and make another play, and this is going to solidify what you can do on the next level. And I'm sitting there like, well, he's calling plays or these coaches calling plays? And I promise you, the next play, Reggie made a play. He pushed me back out on the field. I made a bigger play. Wow. And the next play was a touchdown. So it makes my hair stand up, because I've always wanted to be those guys. Beyond stepping into those hallways, that building, I've always wanted to be them. And to now finally be here and having to live up to that standard.
Sure.
It was like, I can't just be satisfied with wearing as you. And that's one of the things, like, beyond the hanging out, we can't hang. We didn't hang. You didn't hang with us if you didn't put your mark on the game.
Right. So
that's what you gotta understand. Those guys at the U, we didn't play that. And it was taught to us. If we went out there and tested, we got a 110 test tomorrow. I got a story. We got a 110 test. I'm with my girl. We're in college. I'm with my girl. And I believe we was at my apartment. And, that's your girl. You know how that body push up against you at a certain time.
Mm-hmm.
What time it is.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't much to be said what time it is.
Right.
Not me, not tonight. I put that elbow between us.
Come on.
I got 110 test tomorrow. After I run this test, push up against me and see what happens.
But you needed all your faculties.
I need these legs, because I refuse to let you down. I refuse to come out here and be less of anybody that you expect me to be tomorrow. I refuse.
Now take people through the 110 test.
So the 110 test it's 110 yards. It's the football field, but you're starting from the goal line and you're finishing in the back of the end zone. And it never was really a line to tell you what was the mark, but you noticed that, and we just was told this after we left left college. Our coaches told us that, we walked back every time y'all started. Y'all didn't see us, but we took a step back. And the mark for the receivers was 12 seconds. To run a 100-meter dash, it's barely guys to run 12s and 100 yards or 100-meter dash in track. So just think, we out there running in the hot sun in Miami, the heat, the darnest heat in the summertime, and you telling us to run 110s, and sometimes they steal from either 16 to 20 of them after a workout. So you tell me if I'm getting something tonight. Right. Hell no. So that's what I'm saying. So, like,
damn,
it meant so much to us to be great, to make sure that we was considered one of the guys and pass our tests, that you would sacrifice some of the things that we might look at today like, boy, I don't know, boy.
Right.
Nah, I'm straight. So that's what I said. It meant so much to me to go out there and perform, so my peers can look at me as that's what I'm gonna get from Tanner. That's what he's gonna bring me. And then after that, we can have fun. We can go do what we do. But now I'm saying that to say this, because it was a lot of guys that took that for granted. It was a lot of guys that say, yeah, I'm going to have this beer tonight. I'm going to have this drink because I'm in college and I'm understanding that I need to live life to the fullest. And then they're going to come half-ass out here on these 110s. Guess what? Yeah, the coaches see you failing. The coaches see you tired. But when you get in this locker room, you have to see one of us.
Right.
And half of the time it was the guy that played your position. And he'd be standing there with his shirt off, waiting in the middle of that U. We had a U. We had couches shaped like a U, right in front of our TV, and we had the U sitting in there. And
you had to catch a fade?
If you seen any guy sitting in there with his shirt off, and everybody sitting around those couches saying, "What?
Come on, Tanner!
What? And when you walked in there, if they looking at you, you got to go in there and fade them.
Woo!
You got to go in there and see
Lord
them.
have mercy.
So I woke up early, and at the end of the day, I ain't trying to be fading nobody anyway, but I'm gonna get me mine because I want to be great. So a lot of guys was whooped into greatness because at the end of the day, man, you keep coming short, you gonna be great because we gonna whoop you.
We gonna whoop you.
And it ain't gonna be no one. It's gonna start off one guy before you know it, the whole team on your behind.
So timeout.
That was allowed back then. You can't do a lot of stuff now.
You can't do that now.
You know what I'm saying?
But so let me get this straight. Let's say you go out the night before, you have a good time, you show up, you don't run the 110 the way you're supposed to. Not only did you mess it up and you tired, But then you go in the locker room and you get whooped.
Not only did you not pass, so you got to do it again.
Right.
And get your ass whooped when you come in the locker room.
Damn.
Because you let us down. Woo! And you're going to be the same guy that on the field, you either going to jump off sides or either get beat on a critical down where we need you the most.
Right.
So therefore, we're going to set the standard. We're going to show you that how much this means to us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're going to show you that, okay, yeah, you failed. And the coaches is patching your back, say, hey, you come tomorrow and finish it up. Yeah, you finish with them tomorrow, but you got to see us today.
I'll catch an L
You
today.
got to see us today.
Dang.
It ain't about just seeing us. I'm like, everybody. And that's why I say it got to the point to where you'll never see nobody fighting again. That's how we knew we was great. Never see nobody fighting again.
Right.
Because it started off, we was 5-6, and then about 5 fights. Then the next year we were 9-3, and it was about 1 or 2 guys.
2, yeah.
The next year we was 10 and something, and you're like, damn, ain't nobody fighting today. The next year we was 12-1. It was like everybody was one band, one sound. So that's what I'm saying. So the tradition was set long time ago. The standard was set. We just had to reach and meet that. And when we met it, man, that's when we became to see that team again. That's why I say beyond hanging and all that, you can't talk to us about hanging, because before we leave these locker rooms, you have to be what we believe in, and you have to meet that standard before you can come out here and say we're going to have a drink together.
Damn, Tana.
Real talk.
That's real. So now when you see the turnover chains and the U is back, somebody getting their ass beat.
And half the time those guys are having too much fun they having too much fun for me to even believe that it's even that going on. Because a lot of those guys so young, they probably don't even know it. It's a couple of guys in that locker room, like you got a Michael Rump, that's a coach, defensive back coach. You have Kareem there, who's he's a player personnel guy.
From your
You have
era.
a few guys there, and then you have Coach Rich. You know, Rick was there back when the Benny Testaverde and all them played. So I'm pretty sure they letting those guys know what it takes to be a king. That's why you see the plays a lot better.
Right.
Because you can see those guys playing with a purpose. Honestly, man, I'm gonna be real. The era that I played in, it was a bunch of hard asses, bro.
Yeah.
A bunch of hard asses. And you was almost, if you wasn't tough here and here, you would be in one of those little, you know how like you got that fish tank, and you the only little fish, and everybody big fish.
Sharks.
That's how you'll feel. And I saw a lot of guys get weeded out like that because mentally they wasn't ready, and they was great all their life playing little league in high school, and they got amongst a lot of great guys and a lot of tougher and harder guys, a lot of guys that had more grit and hunger, and they was like, well, I'm satisfied. And those satisfied guys got weeded out because they got pounced on so many times, and then they, being pounced on and knowing that you finna be pounced on, that can you up mentally.
Yeah, no
you know
question.
what I'm saying? So that's why I say, man, being a Hurricane, man, it wasn't just about wearing that U. You had to go out there and prove to us that you can wear that U. And all those guys, even the guys that didn't play the game, that wore that helmet, that put that helmet on, trust me, they had to, beyond the coaches' approval, go against the players. The players had to make sure that because if you wasn't the guy, trust me, you won't wear that helmet.
They weed you out.
Weed your ass out. They gonna beat you so much, and it was to the point to where I'm saying beat you because, look, at the end of the day, it's all fun and games. It was nothing that to the point to where you gonna call your mama, I can't take this no more.
Right.
Which we had some guys doing that.
That's funny.
We had a lot of guys doing it. We had guys calling the hoods, hey, y'all need to come down here right now.
They whooping on me.
Y'all need to come down here right now. I can't take this shit. But
damn.
what you want to play? You want to play ball or you want to play that other shit? You know
and plus, y'all are peers, so you know damn well what's going on. You know if a guy is pushing his girl off the night before or if he out there chasing.
And look here.
Y'all knew.
Every year you come in, if you're an upperclassman, you get a younger classman. You get a freshman. So every year you come in, you got a guy. That's the guy you see over. He's in your meeting room.
It's your responsibility.
You watch him.
Lord have mercy.
I had a guy, and I remember I walked the hall. I'm going somewhere, and I see him. Why are you out tonight? I can afford to be out this time of night, doing what I'm doing.
Sure.
Why are you out?
Why are you here?
Oh boy, I'm trying to. Then you see him out there practicing. He can't remember. He can't run a route right. He's slipping on everything.
Damn,
and the coach
Tanner.
asking me, "What's up with your boy? Man, that ain't my boy no more. Give me somebody else." Straight up. That's how we do it.
This is representation of you.
Nah, Tanner, man, just tell me what I'm doing wrong. I saw you last night. I shouldn't see you. That's what you're doing wrong. You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
So
it was a culture.
Yeah, it was definitely a culture.
Mm.
And so eventually that guy won't play because you got to get my approval to play. You know what I'm saying? Before the coach's approval, you got to get my approval. And if you ain't got mine, then coaches ain't gonna believe in you. They not even gonna give you a chance to play. They gonna ask me, so how you looking? How you feel about your guy today? Coach, he suck.
Oh.
And that's just what we was at because they believed in what we was doing on the field that we can give them that kind of feedback on anybody else that had to be our backups or be the guy that play alongside of us.
This is no knock on anyone else's podcast, but none of you have story time with Tana. 'Cause that is amazing. Time now for Tana talking DMV. I want to know your favorite places to go. I know now that I know you much better, but I remember when we first, started chopping it up, and we used to talk and be like, yo, where you be at? And I was always in the city because that's where I lived. Your ass is way out. Leesburg and all up out there.
Kalamazoo.
I mean, you're in Skins country for real out there in Redskins country.
They call it West Bubble.
Well, now that I've been there a few more times, I mean, where are your places to go? You got them everywhere, I'm sure.
We have to actually get in that car and get the.
You gotta go.
You gotta take a real hike to go anywhere. But I appreciate. That's one of the reasons what allow me to enjoy Loudoun County now because there's so much going on now. You got one Loudoun and you have so many different eateries there and. We have the Miss Lounge where I had my spot now.
I like that spot.
I'm so happy they brought that to the area because now I have a spot I can really say, let me go in.
Oh, that's new.
That's new.
Oh.
Probably like 2 years.
It's nice.
So having that, before all that came about, I was a guy that, I'm average, man. I'm average Joe Blow. I tell you, I'm average Joe Blow. I ain't doing nothing too special. I'm going to go to skating ring here or bowling alley here. I remember they have Bowl of America that's not too far in that area in Sterling. Hernan, it's considered Sterling and Hernan, I believe. When it comes to eating, I love to go out and enjoy, especially Caribbean food. You'll catch me waiting in College Park for jerk pit. I like jerk pit. Caribbean plate out in I believe that's Arlington. They brought in DC Prime right into that one Loudoun area. It's right across the street. So we have that in Leesburg now. I love DC Prime. Before that, Capitol Grill was my go-to. Capitol Grill, they have one in Tyson's and they have one down the street from the stadium out there in DC from the Capital One Stadium. So I find myself, and I'm one of those guys that I don't like trying too much stuff, things new, unless somebody inviting me to have something different.
Right.
If it's on me, no, I'm going to what I know.
No, I know. We went out to lunch recently, and I said, "You like sushi?" He said, "Hell to the no."
Hell no, boy. So who?
Tana is a creature of habit.
Hey, man, look, I just want to be full. I don't want to try none of that extra stuff.
You like it, bro.
Yeah, but everyone tells me that. But
you would. You'd like it.
I stick to what I know.
I like a lot of those places you named. I do want to try the Caribbean spots because I'm out there near College Park. So I need to try that spot you talking about.
No, it's nice.
Caribbean Pit, it's called?
Caribbean Plate.
All right.
Arlington.
All right. I'm going to try that.
It's nice.
You ever been to, I go to this place called Founding Farmers.
Oh, yeah, I love Founding Farmers.
The portions, bro. That's where it's at.
See, my favorite dish there is the fried chicken. So due to the fact that I'm not eating that every day like I was when I was playing, I could throw some fried chicken down every day of the week and be okay. Nowadays,
I got a spot for you, fried chicken. Gus's fried chicken is banging.
Gus's fried chicken.
Gus's.
Where is it?
I think it was like a chain that started in Memphis, I believe, or somewhere down south, and it's come up here now. There's one in Greenbelt by College Park. Write it down and go there.
Greenbelt?
It's in Greenbelt, but it's by College Park. Gus's fried chicken. Best, I'm telling you right now, number 1 seed, fried chicken.
Oh, no. Don't tell me that.
I guarantee it.
On my cheat day, I must have some Gus's.
You got to go. And
Gus!
It's near my crib, so hit me up when you go.
Well, we're going to go together then.
Yeah, bro. Matter of fact, we should chronicle it for this podcast.
That's what we're going to do.
Okay.
Stamp Gus. We're going to go out and stamp it.
Well, hell, with that being said, let's move on then.
Let's do it.
Time now for what we watching. All right, Tana, I don't want you to think I don't care about what you're watching, because I do. But I want to lead this one off because I channeled my inner Santana Moss, and I watched.
My ears are pierced.
I watched a scary movie yesterday.
No.
My wife went out shopping. My son slept for 2 hours. It was unbelievable. He took a 2-hour nap. So I ordered a movie.
Mm-hmm.
I got the remake of the movie It.
Oh, you watched it?
I watched it yesterday.
It was funny scary, though, wasn't it?
It sucked because as a kid, The Exorcist,
yeah.
I mean, I couldn't sleep at night.
You couldn't sleep at night, exactly.
So I'm thinking.
That's why I said the new one was funny scary.
Yeah, like in my mind, yeah.
Clown, man. That
was lame,
He
bro.
was more funny than scary.
Yes.
And it's like it was almost premeditated. Like you knew things that was going to happen.
Yes.
Stick your head
This
down
ain't
there. Like,
shit.
don't do that. Yeah.
And then here's what really pissed me off was, okay, it had been so long, and I think it scarred me so traumatically as a child. I maybe forgot like the ending.
Mm-hmm.
So spoiler alert if you haven't seen it. If you haven't, you're a loser.
By
But now, come on.
Yeah, they watched it.
They beat the clown's ass to death. Like, I'm like, really?
I
They
literally,
jumped him?
I literally watched that movie and I'm like, is this a scene out of the Martin show when Tommy, or what his name was, Hearns beat Martin up and had him?
They beat the clown's ass to death.
Hey man, I was like, this is ludicrous, man.
That's how
honestly.
it ends.
Yeah, it
was terrible.
Yeah, you gotta come back. I'm gonna wait for next week to tell me your next scary movie because you gotta watch another scary movie because you can't tell me it was the scariest you went. So since we on what we watching,
Yes.
I haven't really got that far past of what I've been. You know, I'm around Netflix a lot more nowadays. I mean, I don't know why. I guess because I'm so busy doing so much. I'm binge watching Quantico.
Oh,
pretty good show.
I like the lead actress in that
yeah,
show.
she's
Nice,
dope.
Yeah.
I'm only on episode 7, I believe.
Okay.
So I'm sitting here like, damn, what's gonna happen? Because they framing her right now. You can basically see it. They framing her for this bombing and everything. But besides Quantico, something that really that's interesting me. I'm waiting to go back home to finish it up. It's a show on Netflix called Evil Genius.
Okay. I haven't heard of that.
Episode 1 was about a guy, a pizza delivery guy, walks into a bank with a collar bomb. Has a collar bomb on, over it, has a shirt over the collar bomb, and it said, "Guess." And bro, he robs the bank. He wants $250,000. He probably gets no more than $5,000. He goes out. They don't get that far. The whole thing to the bank robbery is like a puzzle. Basically, you got to do this first, and then you got to do this, and you got to do that. So obviously, he didn't do it. Everyone that knows the guy knew that he's not bright enough to put all this together. Someone has to be putting him up to this. And the police, barricade him, surround him, and they catch him. And he let them know, look, if I don't get to this next spot to solve this clue, I'm finna blow up. And he blew up in front of everybody's eyes.
Wow.
Yeah. But the catchy thing about the whole story, the next season or the next show, it's a whole different thing going on, but all of it leads back to this, dude. So it got me, I'm glued.
Oh, so he set a bunch of different things in motion.
He didn't set a bunch of things in motion. Whoever is in the next story set all this up.
Wow.
And the police don't even know it, but as a watcher, you like, hey, they at a location where the guy got the bomb got the bomb put on him. Wow. And then you realize the lady who they arrested for the next crime or whatever, she mentions his name.
Wow.
So you like, oh, all this is adding up to where that these guys are a part of the previous thing that went on.
Right.
So it's crazy. Evil Genius. I'll watch it. I'm only on what I believe episode 2. Like I said, I'm glued to Netflix right now. There's so many movies out, man. I want to go see. They have a movie out with D Wade's wife that I want to go check out.
Oh yeah,
Gabrielle Union movie. It's a lot of good stuff out there. I just haven't found the time because I'm doing so much. We hustling.
We hustling.
Every day we hustling.
Every day we hustling.
So when you're hustling, you kind of miss out on some of those.
No doubt.
Those movie days that we normally get. But Netflix is keeping me busy.
We
too.
hustling, and for me it's double because like I, by principle, can watch more movies now because I'm home more with I got a 9-month-old.
Yeah.
But
Daddy daycare.
The boy mama won't let me watch a damn thing. She's like, well, this is I like action movies.
Yeah.
This is too violent. This is too loud. I'm like, he's 9 months. He can't even talk. He can't even crawl yet. What do you care? What is he? Yeah, but violent images, studies show that.
So you know I love your wife, right? You know I love your wife. You know I love you. You know what I'm about to tell you.
I do.
Woman, I work too much hard for you to tell me what I can watch right now. You need to take him and yourself in the other room if you don't want to partake in this outing right now.
I'm telling you, man.
Because I refuse to hear anybody tell me what I can and cannot
win,
watch.
Man. So
and I love you with all that said.
If I don't watch those, then I watch sports.
Yeah.
But then she's like, why are you watching sports again? I'm like, why didn't you marry an accountant? I work in sports.
I tell her again, woman, I work too much hard for you to tell me what I can and cannot watch.
I'm gonna try that, and then I'll text you and see how it goes.
Wifey, I love you. Don't look at me no.
This
different.
is how I'm gonna do it. This is how I'm gonna set him up. Listen, honey, Santana said I work too
Put it on me, because I'm okay. I can be the bad guy, you know? I'm the bad guy, like Tony say.
Tony.
Everywhere. What Tony say? Call me the bad guy. I'm the bad guy.
Oh, man. Well, with that being said, man, time now for finish the sentence, man. All right, Tana, finish the sentence. If I could play football alongside anybody, dead or alive, I would ball with.
Being that I'm a receiver, being that we are considered divas, I might say that the diva thing has, it doesn't compare with me.
It misses you.
Misses me. Definitely misses me. But I would want two special quarterbacks, either or. Growing up, 49er fan, Joe Montana.
Joe Montana.
And since that's way before my time. It's crazy. I met Joe this year, and I told him that, hey, you're my childhood favorite, The quarterback of my era is Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
Look, Reggie Wayne, my boy, we came into college together, left together, retired together, all that crazy stuff. It's crazy how everything add up. But he got to play with Peyton Manning, man. I remember going to a Pro Bowl, the only Pro Bowl I went to. I'm remind you that I'm going to say that again because it bothers me to this day that I only went to one. But that's another time, that's another story. I remember at Pro Bowl, Peyton told me, say, hey, think I could get you next year? I have you, Marvin, Reggie, and I have Reggie and Marvin on the outside and you in the slot. And I looked at Peyton like, look, right now, that was my first year with the Skins. Everything you saying sounds good, but that wouldn't work. Because already I don't think it's enough balls for those two guys.
Right.
But I would love to be a part of that.
Crazy.
I would have loved to be a part of that. But Peyton was like the quarterback of my, like I say, we talked about quarterbacks last week, and Brady still stands out to me when it comes to what he's done. His body of work has proven.
Drew Brees also,
all those guys,
of course.
man. But Peyton Manning was the guy that I looked at, and I was in awe every Sunday watching the way he manipulated, defensive backs' minds. Like he just toyed with them. He toyed with everybody. I mean, Reggie taught me how much. Like I used to ask Reggie, man, why y'all stand out there and just wait for the plays? Say, Tanner, we get like 3 or 4 plays, and he just call them out and he check out of them and he just do. Man, look, I tell you this. That's how you create greatness. Because as a receiver, you have to be ready. You have to be in tune with what he's thinking at any given minute that he's going to come your way. And to me, the best do it. Only the best do it. And I said I played with a few of those guys. They probably wasn't on the same caliber of a Peyton Manning, but I played with a few that you can consider the best. Vinny Testaverde, like I said, a Chad Pennington.
That could command the offense.
That could command the offense. That saw things beyond seeing them. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's why, I would love to play alongside or be on the same team as a Peyton Manning because I know I could just do my job. One thing I'm going to give you is what I gave you. And at the time when I was playing, you can watch the game. It was easy for guys that caught passes from him because he put everything in play. Look, man, you be here, I got you. You know what I'm saying? That reminded me of my era playing at UM when I had Ken Dorsey. That was he was a weight ahead of his time. Ken Dorsey was telling us, hey, man, I'm going to get this guy, tell him, give him a stutter. And as soon as you stutter, I'm putting it in the air. And if you watch that VTech game, I stopped on breaks. That guy stopped. And the ball, I had to go get the ball because Ken Dorsey just read things like that. And his arm wasn't strong enough for the league, but that's why.
And he didn't have that offensive line.
Yeah, so exactly. You know what I mean? So that's why Peyton and Joe stands out to me.
My favorite cereal of all time is.
I'm gonna pick 2 on this one too.
Right.
Frosted Flakes. Great.
Tony the Tiger.
And Fruity Pebbles.
Oh, the milk left over. Oh man.
I'm drinking that thing right now. Hold on.
Oh man.
I literally let my cereal get soggy so I won't have to even eat it no more. I could just drink it.
So my dad is Frosted Flakes, and he did that. He would put the Frosted Flakes in, pour the milk, and go do something.
Yeah.
I'd be like, how you just, I hate
So much
soggy
sugar.
cereal.
So much sugar.
And he would just let it sit there, and he's
So
like,
much
nah,
sugar.
it's got to get good.
I feel bad for even sharing that with people. So much sugar left over in that damn bowl. I just drank it.
What was the chocolate one that was like that?
Cocoa Pebbles.
I like Cocoa Pebbles.
Cocoa Pebbles and
Lucky Charms was a
I used to tell people to this day, especially when you got a little girl, you cuckoo for Cocoa Puff. Don't tell them that. You cuckoo for Cocoa Puff, girl. Yeah. Tell your wife that, girl, you cuckoo for these Cocoa Puffs. Hey, she gonna look at.
Oh no, man!
What has gotten into you today?
I feel like my wife as a kid probably ate Special K or something. She's probably so healthy.
She probably ate Raisin Bran.
Right. Plain oatmeal.
My daddy told me one day, hey, boy,
Raisin Bran.
boy, have some of that Raisin Bran. So you know me as an adult, I buy Raisin Bran. Man, my daddy used to tell me to eat these. I'm going to go ahead and try these Raisin Bran. Man, I one scoop.
That was it.
This motherfucker told me. Off my tongue.
That damn Raisin Bran.
Oh, disgusting.
If I could remake any movie and star in it, it would be.
So look.
That's tough.
This was hard.
That's tough.
This was hard. Any movie.
Any movie
this
and star in it.
And star in it. So, as a child, and I'm going to tell you this because I have to go way back.
I got to go way back.
There's so many other movies I could say, man, I would want to be in. Nah, to be honest with you, E.T. was my favorite movie growing up. Bruh, I always vision. Look, when they brought out when you get the cereal box and you get the E.T. and the guy on the bike, I built the crate. I got a crate and put it on my bike with wires. Seriously, on my bike with wires and had one of my stuffed little things. It probably was a G.I. Joe. It was something. I put no bull, man. Listen to me, bro. I'm
in the basket.
I'm damn serious, bro. I thought I was E.T. I thought I was the dude that rode the bike. No, like I literally did this, man.
Touch the finger,
dog. I swear. E.T. was my movie. I would shed a tear with E.T. When E.T. got sick,
you got
bro,
me crying right now.
I sat there almost in tears. And I just saw E.T. again like a week ago. And I'm like, damn, this movie just touched me as a kid. And I'm like, man, look how sick E.T. is. He got to go home. E.T. really want to phone home. So, man, I was in love with E.T. Like, so they need to bring it. All these movies are coming back.
Yeah.
Bring E.T. back.
I
don't know if you can even bring it back.
I think
that's one of the movies you can't duplicate because it was one of those movies to this day. I watched it probably a week or two ago, and I'm sitting there like I was intrigued, like I never saw it before. I was all into it, but that was my favorite movie growing up. So
that's a good answer. Mine's a football movie. The movie, The Program. You remember that? That is so hard, Tam.
I thought that was college. Look.
That is hard, bro.
When I watched the program, and I saw what his name was, Omar Epps.
Yes, sir.
And I saw Holly Berry.
Yes,
I
Lord.
said, damn, that's college.
That movie was.
That's
hard.
how they gonna greet you at college. That's how. He took his girl.
Hell yeah, took the starting running back girl.
That was dope.
So that movie, and I would be Joe Kane. I'd be a black quarterback. Joe Kane on that movie was like the guy. He ride motorcycles, kind of crazy. That movie, that's an underrated football movie.
That definitely underrated because I'm gonna tell you what scared the living out of me. Listen to that linebacker talk smack to those guys. I'm like, boy, I want no part of him,
he
boy.
Was nasty.
And then Buddy was on steroids. Oh man,
yeah, man.
That dude. I say, damn.
For those of you who've never heard of it, go Google and look up The Program. It's like a 90s.
The Program was my introduction to college. Like I literally walked into college like, okay.
You looking for Halle Berry?
Where Holly at? Where she at? Girlfriend, I'd have told my girl, hey, look, It's a chick out here. She Holly Berry. She taking me around. You can come out here and join us and all, but I just want to let you know she taking us around, and you know what I'm saying.
Y'all got to look this
Showing me
movie
a
up
good time.
if you never heard of it.
That was my introduction to college before college even happened. I'm like, damn, I want to experience that. The program.
That movie's great.
Yeah,
I'll still watch it. Like I get a bug for it right around college football time. I watch it once every couple years.
I watch program because look, Omar Epps made me want to be great in college. I'm like, damn, man.
Nice.
Omar played all the great parts. He played in the Major League movie, all the sport movies, High Learning, all the movies that he run track, football. I'm like, damn, I need to go to college, man. Omar,
loving basketball too.
Loving basketball,
damn,
everything.
He did get all them real. Hey, Omar, man, come on the show, man. Come holler at your boys.
I swear,
The most memorable football game I've ever played in was.
Oh man, the most memorable football game I ever played in, and I'm gonna break it down. I played in many. My sophomore year, before I even got a chance to play, before I even got a chance to have my first start, I broke my jaw in training camp. The last day of training camp practice, I broke my jaw. And I remember it because I'm like, damn, all this body of work I put together to be a starter now. Remember, I played as a true freshman. I should have started the third game of me playing as a true freshman, but I got in trouble. And so the coaches said, hey, that's your punishment. You're not going to start this year. So now I worked so hard that whole year to now fast forward to my sophomore year. Going into my sophomore year, I'm a starter. I'm a starter. Everything I've done in the offseason, in training camp, I'm a starter. I break my jaw.
Damn.
And I remember them telling me I'm done for the year. And I remember telling that doctor, no, I'm not. Hey, whatever you can do, I need to play. Told me, hey, I got another solution. I could put a plate in there. You miss one game. I'm going to do that. The game I came back, I missed one game. The game I came back, I lit the turf on fire. I finally felt that something was taken away from me that I worked so hard for to, you know, like you got to understand, I came on the walk-on, and everything that I worked for, it was time. It was now paying me back. Like, you're a starter. University of Miami, one of the best of all colleges in the world, and you on the stage. This is your chance. This is your time. And I feel like it was taken away from me. So when I stepped on that field, the first game was my first game of the season, the second game for our team, I lit Cincinnati Bearcats turf on fire. I had 2 touchdowns. That year, I remember, in 3 games, I had 6 TDs. I wasn't playing. I was 160 pounds. Now, I had just lost 20 pounds because I had a broken jaw, slipping on milkshakes for 2 weeks. And when they took them damn rubber bands off, them wires and rubber bands off, I set that field on fire. And that was the most memorable game because you could think about everything else. I remember it because I was appreciating just the fact that I got a chance to play, man.
You arrived.
Yeah, man, I arrived. I'm here. You know?
Maybe this is the same answer. I've never been more nervous in my life than the time I
shared with you earlier. I've never been more nervous in my life than the time I got arrested for the first time.
Oh, yeah. That story's crazy.
Yeah, I got arrested. It was my first college game at home, freshman year. I go out and we play West Virginia at home. We lose. That was my freshman year. We wasn't that good of a team. And I didn't have a outstanding game, but the time I got in, I had 4 catches, 70-something yards, and I got to the goal line twice. I dove and didn't make it in. And I remember going home that night, my mom, I'm so proud of you. Damn, you know, my mom was at the game. Everybody was just excited to see me go out there and perform that way because I'm a walk-on. You got to understand. They know what I could do on the football field, but still the whole perception of who I am on this level is a walk-on. You know, you still labeled as that walk-on until you go out there and be great. And I think I had showed greatness, a sign of greatness, young greatness. And that night I told my mom, yeah, thank you, and I kind of rushed her off the phone. 2 things I learned. Don't lie to mama. One of them, don't lie to mama. Mama say, yeah, all right, good night, babe. I say, yeah, I'm finna go to bed too. Got out the phone, went to the club on campus. The second thing I learned, don't run the fights. You know, and so those 2 things was something that I always knew. And I told my mom I was going to bed, didn't go to bed, and then I got to the club and I ran to a fight. Something that I know better. You know, I don't run the fights. But being the guy I am, being how I was raised, you see your brother going through something. It was a teammate of ours. He was getting handled. And I ran up there to help him. And I couldn't even throw a blow. I just grabbed him up out of the pile. And the guy who was handling him was an undercover cop. I saw his badge on his hip. Saw his badge on his hip. And I kind of like went immediately like, hey, all right, my bad. And he literally went at my throat. And just my instincts alone kind of like went for a chop move. Like, let me get his hand off me. I got his hand off me, and I kind of like, let me get out of here. This ain't my fight. Let me get out of here, you know. I jumped the whole flight of stairs just to get out the way.
Spider-Man.
I'm like, got to go.
Yeah.
And I get downstairs, man. The police is waiting for me at the door, and they handcuff me, and I'm sitting here saying that 2 months ago, my dad just brought me to school. My dad a correction officer. 2 months ago, he just brought me to school and just told me, I don't want to see you down here in my precinct because these officers in this area have a thing for University of Miami players. So be careful while you're out here. And it's in back of my head like, damn, this. I'm listening to my dad tell me this over as I'm riding to the station.
You on your way.
I'm handcuffed in the back seat, and I'm sitting here like, damn, man, I just let my dad down, just let my mom down, just let the coaches down. Just had one of my better games. The first game I ever played.
Right.
Had a great game, and now here I am. This is all that's in jeopardy. You know, I was nervous as shit. And then what made me more nervous, the head coach came in, which is not his fault. He didn't know what was going on. He walked in on me and it's like, hey, can't help you, buddy. So I'm sitting there like, you mean to come? You can't wait out your bed to tell me that shit?
Wow.
And like, you know, when you get arrested on the weekend, you getting out whenever they say during the weekday, Monday.
Right.
And at the time, they told me I had an assault on a police officer, so I wasn't getting out to Wednesday.
Removing his hand from your neck.
So I'm sitting there like, well, damn, what did I do to be sitting here and have to, you know, be seeing the judge to Wednesday? And everything is crazy how things happen, man. I wasn't meant to be in there. And it took one officer to come and ask me, say, hey, man, you know, you get a phone call, who you want to call? And I remember, nervous as I was like, I ain't calling my mama because I don't need to put that pressure on her. Let's call my daddy.
Wow.
He at work. And he's like, what are you doing at work this time? And I said, he worked the graveyard shift at TGK. And the whole office got quiet. Everybody like, that's where they was taking me.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, TGK. He like, man, what's your name is again? And I was like, and now I'm sassy as hell with him because I'm like, I shouldn't be here. But I'm like, man, you know my damn name. He like, Officer Moss is your dad? And the rest was history, bro. And I'm sitting here like, damn, boy, my old boy got some clout. And I remember, man, like it was yesterday. I heard my mama downstairs cussing and fussing. You motherfucker. I'm like, oh, shit, she here. They done called her too.
Damn.
And my dad came in there, he looked at me. They do anything wrong to you? I'm like, nah, they ain't do nothing. I said, they verbally harassed me, but other than that, they ain't put their hands on me. I saw my dad walk the guy out who arrested me, talk to him in the hallway, and I know my old boy no nonsense. And before you know it, the guy came in there and said, hey, man, you know, I'm dropping the charges, and I'm sorry for putting you through this. I'm like, hell no, you just told me I broke your forearm, you gonna miss work. Hell no, you just made me sit here, you humiliated me. You basically got me in here for nothing, bro. Like, now you gonna tell me all this drop? Like, you didn't have to arrest me because I didn't do nothing wrong.
Right.
The only thing I did was interfere with your arrest.
Right.
Yes,
right.
That's true. But all this stuff you put on me, nah. And so, to be honest with you, it went from me being nervous to like, damn, bro, this is what really happens. You know, and I'm lucky to be in the position that I was in.
Yeah,
I'm lucky
bro, you
because
got lucky.
My old boy didn't play one, and he was a correction officer, and he knew how they get to guys like us, especially like if you arrested a University of Miami football player back then, in those 90s, you was legend as a police officer.
That's what he told you.
He told me that. He drove me to school, and like, I don't want to see you down in my precinct.
Right.
I'm like, damn, the hell I'm gonna be in there. What the fuck I'm doing?
Right.
I'm just letting you know, University of Miami football players get targeted.
To get you.
And I hear so many guys walking there talking about, yeah, I f***ed him up, I did this, I did that. And he's like, I don't want that because if they touch you, it's gonna be a problem. I'm gonna lose my job.
You putting him on, yeah.
Feel me? And I'm lucky, man. I mean, I know I didn't do anything for me to be in that situation, but man, trust me, when they talking about bricks,
oh hell yeah,
I think they named it after that moment because I was sitting in there like, and I just lost everything. You know?
Papa don't take no mess. Yeah. All right, I know you're superstitious.
Yeah.
So this last one, I'm superstitious. So my pregame ritual was.
Yeah, I'm so superstitious that from the first year of me playing high school football,
Lord have mercy,
which was my sophomore year in high school, I listened to one album, AT-Aliens. So that go to show you my age.
Greetings,
right
Earthlings.
I'm not trying to tell everybody my age, but they should know I ain't hiding away from that.
AT-Aliens was hard.
I listened to AT-Aliens from the first day that I ever played the game on that level to the last day I ever played the game.
Wow. La, da, 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 da. Yo, AT-Aliens was hard, bro. That was hard. Damn. Yes, sir. Hey, that's one of the greatest albums ever.
Hey, man.
Ever.
To this day, I'm an Outkast, big Outkast, man. You know that. And that album was nothing short of greatness.
Yeah, no, you're right.
They can tour that damn album alone. Just go on tour and just don't rap nothing else but that album.
I'm about to look up the track list. And that's the thing.
The one track that got me excited about what I was doing at the end of the day when I would be sleeping having on is throw your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care. And if you like Fritz and all that, trust me, bro, like when I tell you I visualize, and like our coaches back then taught us to visualize a moment. And I used to be that track used to make me visualize the stands, people in the stands, getting excited because I just did something. You know what I'm saying?
Tana,
and bro,
2 dope boys in a Cadillac, Wheels of Steel.
We could come in with that.
Jazzy Bell.
We could come in with that.
We could.
2 dope boys in the Cadillac.
Me and you, Elevators.
Your mama and your cousin.
Oh my God.
Bangers.
This
bangers
is amazing.
on top of bangers. So yeah, honestly, man, that introduced me into the high school, and it rolled with me all the way until I played my last game.
Tana, Outkast is just Aquemini, Stankonia.
Oh, no doubt, man.
Speaker Box, Love Below. I mean, they're ridiculous.
To me, the best duo ever put together in the rap game.
Southern Playalistic Cadillac Music. Like they're man. Outkast, y'all need to get it together, man. Go on a tour.
Well, Andre had just him and Big Boy just started back talking.
Good.
I didn't know that they was beefing.
Yeah,
it was something that was going on. They didn't talk for years, and we know they didn't share with no one because they didn't want to be in the world as everybody else put out they in-house business.
Right.
So I applaud them for that.
I think it was money, bro.
I don't even think it was money. Andre was fed up with the rap game and where it was at, so he was doing stuff. Movies.
Right.
Big Boy like, man, we can eat still. Yeah. You see Big Boy eating by himself, so you know, bro, Dre, me and you together. So I'm not sure if it even was that. It had to be something deeper than that.
Maybe.
But I know just from what they shared with us, like, hey, man, we ain't want to put this out there, but this is my first time seeing my brother in some years. Damn. That alone let me say, damn, that's what been going on. So something in the making. I think they're putting together a concert, a tour.
We gotta go, bro. We gotta
go. If you don't go, I will be there, regardless.
So it's on me. Tanner's
your ass would be left. You hear me? I'm there. Whether it's in Miami, here, whether we have to go somewhere else to go see him, I'm gonna be there.
What would be dope? FedEx or like Capital One?
FedEx.
FedEx would be
outdoor because I feel like
you could get more.
They have that aura about them that they need to be in front of like one of them Coachella.
Yeah, you're right. FedEx
or that thing we had here, Broccoli Fest.
Yeah,
that's the kind of crowd they need. They need one of those crowds outdoor
festival.
Where they can just rock. Dre a different breed. You know what I'm saying? He has something different about him, and that's what makes them opposite attract. Aquemini. Dre, one of them a Gemini, one of them was Aquarius. Aquemini. That's how they get together.
Write this down in your notes. Holler at your boy Dan Snyder. Tell him to call Outkast, put the money up, and get him at FedEx.
I got to holler at my boy Hugh. He was in charge of all that.
He's in charge.
If you listening, Hugh.
Hey, Hugh, man, get the boys on the phone.
Outkast at FedEx.
Yeah, get the bag together.
I'm there.
And they don't need no tour, just a one-off concert at FedEx. Get the bag up.
I put up with that.
Speaking of bags, let the fine people who support this program know what we got coming up next week.
No doubt. Well, if you're a listener today, you shall be a listener tomorrow.
Oh.
And with that said, I got to me, the best agent in this business, Drew Rosenhaus, would be our special guest.
Wow.
We kind of went away from the guest, for the last, 3 weeks?
Yeah, 3 weeks.
We want to give you a little more of me and Trav.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
We can't give you too much of all these special guests because we want you to understand us a little bit. So therefore, we had to bore you a little bit, and I know that we didn't bore you. But with that said, we got the well-represented Drew Rosenhaus.
Crazy.
And he'll be in the building, whether it's Skype or, most likely it'll be Skype. But he's going to come, and I know he has a lot to say.
I'm rubbing my hands together because that's that money talk. Rubbing my hands together like Birdman.
No doubt, man.
We're going to talk we're going to talk life, but I can't wait to just get some jewels, man, some mental jewels.
You know how I feel about Drew. You know how I feel about. I share some of the things with you and Oscar before this show, and I can't wait to get him on, man. He's one of those guys that always been, A1 with me, and from day one. And so I just can't wait to hear what he has to say now, because I've been not in touch with him that much, through text here and there, but I haven't talked to him that much about how this league has transformed and the things he goes through now with the different players and the different things with the team. So I'm very intrigued to see what's going on and how his things has changed from then to now. So can't wait.
All right, look, me and Tanner are going to go listen to AT Aliens right now. Classic, just like this podcast, Santana Moss YouTube channel. Go there, subscribe, like, share, comment, the whole 9 yards. The Santana Moss Show podcast is coming to Apple Podcasts. Keep rolling with us. Santana Moss Show podcast, episode 7. It's a wrap, AT Alien style. Santana Moss, Travis Thomas, booyaka.
Yeah.